When will interest rates drop? Everybody wants to know right now. That's all everybody's talking about still. Well, of course, because interest rates, everybody wants to know when they're going to drop. Yep. So, we don't necessarily have the answer, but let's talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's when will they drop and what will they drop to, right? Are we going to see twos again? Absolutely not. Never in history will that happen. And if you're saying, well, why wouldn't we do it again? Because look where we got to as a result of that, right? We learned our lesson, I think.
Yeah.
So what I've told people is, I think we'll see high threes again at some point. Mm-hmm. At some point, not next year. I do think rates will go down next year.
Yes.
That's the short answer. But I saw 3.875 on a 30-year fix in 2012, 2016, and 2019. Oh. I don't include 2020 and 2021 in any analysis because it was a one-time anomaly, right?
Right.
But 3.875 on a 30-year fix, 2012, 2016, 2019. So I saw it in three times in a 10-year span. It feels like that would happen again. And then the realization I had recently was, wait a sec, those are all like election years.
Interesting.
What do we have next year?
Right.
Election year. And if you were the current administration in any cycle, what do you want to do right before November? You want to look really, really good.
Of course, yeah.
So my forecast is gas prices come down around August.
Man, that'd be nice
next year, right? All the things that we're complaining about.
Right.
And I would say the top two are gas prices and cost of money.
Yeah.
So I think interest rates will go down summer of 2024 because that makes things feel really good.
Yeah.
And I always talk about psychology. Like we have really bad bad memories as human beings. If gas prices were $4 and it went up to $7, we're flipped out mad that gas went to $7. But now that it's settled in the mid-5s here in California, we forgot where we came from.
Right.
We're going to do the same. So if rates come down in August, we'll forget where we were and we're just going to feel good.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
I think we would come into the 6s, right? And that's kind of the crazy thing is we don't need a lot of movement to have a lot of people get really excited really fast.
That for sure. Yeah.
So, if we're sitting around, the mid, call it the mid 7 to 7.5-ish right now. Someone at lunch today said, how many people have you quoted 8? And I'm like, well, I haven't quoted anyone 8 yet. So far so good. Yeah. But I think if we get to 6.875, just seeing that 6.99 type thing we always go for.
Yeah.
Yeah, the affordability goes up dramatically.
Sure.
And then I think we will see 5 again, maybe not next year, maybe the year after.
Yeah.
But it will start to swing down. The Fed has started to mellow out on their increases, and that's a good sign.
Yeah.
So I think, okay, well, when are rates, how far will rates go up is kind of the other question. I think this is the peak because we've reached this point probably 3 or 4 times over the course of the last 12 months, but we haven't gone higher than this. So it feels like we're kind of at the worst case scenario right now.
Yeah.
And going into an election year.
Yep. No, it's phenomenal information, Sean, for sure. And I agree with you on all of it. And the thing I want to add, too, because I know we've done this in previous videos before as well, is, if you're on the fence about buying or you're not sure about buying and you're going to wait for the rates to come down, that scares me if you're a buyer because, okay, that's great, you can wait. But the home prices aren't coming down right now. No. So as soon as the interest rates start coming down, the home prices are going to go up again. So what do you do? What's a way around that? And I know we talked about this before. The market, last video was, it's a tale of two markets. So you've got homes that are priced well, look good, and they are selling right away. Mm-hmm. Then you've got the other half that is sitting and doing price adjustments, right? So if you're on the fence about it, the homes that are having price adjustments or have sat on the market for 2 weeks or longer, we can still look for a credit from the seller, a concession from the seller when you put it into your offer, and use that to buy down your interest rate. So there's still ways to get a lower interest rate than what we're quoting right now or what people are quoting.
Yeah, find your comfort zone. And how crazy is it that normal to us is if the property's sitting for longer than 2 weeks, that is what our new normal is, or our frame of reference is, which is that normal?
No, it's not.
Like in your real estate career.
35, 40 days typically is what it was, in a normal market. Usually we'd have 120 homes for sale in Danville, 120 homes for sale in San Ramon. Now single family homes were at 35, 40. So it's a big difference. Inventory's still low.
But just to be a seller and be like, oh my gosh, my house was on the market for 2 weeks and it's still there.
Right.
That's just crazy to me that that's where we've gotten to. But I think it also speaks to, going back to the interest rates, the interest rates, I don't want to say rates don't matter, but they kind of don't matter because we're seeing multiple offers on the super sexy house still.
Yep.
If it's not super sexy, people are questioning, well, do I have the money to fix it up? Can I get my payment to be more affordable? And there are, of course, ways to do that with seller credits. But I have a video that I think I'm going to hit 1 million views on for my first time.
Seriously?
Yep. So Patrick Bet David is an influencer, financial influencer, has 3.5 million followers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he has been saying the market's going to crash as rates go up. You're going to see home prices come down. You're going to see home prices come down. Well, last week he put out a video about the reverse housing crash.
Right.
And he said if the Fed starts to cut rates and rates go down, he used a $900,000 home as his example, which fits our market pretty well. He's like, that home's going to jump up to 1.4 if rates go down to 6%, 4%, 3%, as they come down. And the arguments on my comments on that video, and someone said this today, and I thought this was a great point. He said, yeah, when rates come down, inventory is going to flourish. I'm like, but every single listing is also a buyer.
Right.
So they've got to go somewhere. So it's a net zero.
Yeah.
Right? You get more homes to the market, but I also have more buyers now because that seller has to become a buyer. So I'm still net zero.
Right.
So we still have such a problem with inventory. And
maybe we can put a link to that video you got so we can share it with
absolutely.
everybody too.
Great
So,
idea.
yeah,
Great idea.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, once again, great information from Sean. We're here for you guys anytime. Jason Caskie, Coldwell Banker out of the Danville office, and then Sean Herrero, Cross Country Mortgage out of the Danville office as well. Reach out anytime. We're here to help. If you have any questions about the market right now or what we're talking about, interest rate buy downs or anything else you guys want to chat about, we're always here. So thanks again, guys, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Take care.